sospiro, felice un servo mio.
This is Pamela Kuhn, and the curtain is up on Center Stage, the show about the arts and the artists behind their work. You know, it's interesting. I give my opening line before each show, and I wonder just how many are really listening to the phrase, the artists behind their work. Because today I have the artist who is going to show us everything behind his work, which has fueled his reason for living. But first, let me set this up for you. Here is a quote by one of my favorite filmmakers, David Fincher. In film, we sculpt time, we sculpt behavior, and we sculpt light. And now, stage director and visionary Stefanos Koroneos. I'm drawn to light, angles, and human complexity. I create interdisciplinary work in both unconventional spaces and traditional theatrical settings. The artists who I've just quoted spent their lives taking pictures. They were always filmmakers, but they started with the visual still image. And they were known for having a widespread knowledge of every facet of their production. To see every frame, every texture, every shade of light, making the story unfold before our eyes like a dream. Well, my guest today was born to that same calling. Stefanos Koroneos is a Renaissance man. Born in Greece, he felt that his backdrop was the perfect formative ground for becoming an artist. He drank in the simplicity of beauty around him, which helped him define the power of his ability to create, as an opera singer and then as stage director and visionary. But like the directors I've just quoted, Stefanos has been taking pictures, first in his mind and then literally with his camera. He is the complete director. His singing gave him the knowledge of the performer's perspective. His creative eye turns the pictures over in his mind and helps him find the light. The fracture of the combination is his production. And as artistic director and general manager of the opera company Teatro Grattacielo, he has realized his calling. And now with his appointment as producing director at Opera Roanoke, Stefanos Koroneos adds yet another stage to his formidable list. Stefanos Koroneos, welcome to Center Stage. It is such an honor to have you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for this amazing introduction.
You know, I was just inspired by you. Reading what I have about you, getting to speak to you just once, I felt somehow you were ignited from within with that special light you're talking about, that you're interested in. Am I right?
I think you are, because I really I'm really very passionate about what I do. I, most importantly for me, it's always about how do I feel when I wake up in the morning? Do I feel positive? Do I feel ready to go to work? Do I feel ready to create, or maybe to just write a grant? And I must tell you that for the last few years, I have been feeling ready every morning.
Wow, you're at the high point. You're at the zenith then of your creative life, really.
I think so. I think so. And it was like this for me also when I was a singer.
Mhm.
Um, I was lucky. I had a good run, but it was not at the point that it is right now. I feel that I was born to be on the other side of the table. And I'm very thankful that finally I found my true calling a little bit later in life.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
okay, I did it.
You did it with a smile. I love that. I'm all about every artist having at least 9 lives, Stefanos. I
Yes, yes.
mean, you might be up to 4 or 5, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Right there. Who knows
I love
what
that.
happens in 10 years?
See, you're at the top, and then we can come down, in later life, but it won't be with a thud. It will still be with you spinning this great creative spirit.
Absolutely.
Am I right about the visual image I talked about, the still visual image? I mean, I know that you have a photographic memory. That I do
Yes.
know. I find that very exciting. And for anyone with that kind of saturation, you've been taking pictures all your life in your mind.
Absolutely. And I mean, I want to share with you that I remember when I was young, and I was growing up in a very small place in the south of Greece called Areopolis, which means the city of Ares, the god of
Oh,
war. It was a medieval old place that
mm,
back then was um, just ruins of old pirate life back then, where I lived 400, 500 years ago. The Greeks, in order to escape from pirates and from invasion, they had to build these fortresses, and they would live literally in the middle of the stones. Now, I was a very kind of a lone kid. I woke up, I grew up in this very small village where people did not understand me, did not get me, or they didn't want to deal with me. So what I had was my uh, my vision of the world.
right.
I would go out there in the wildness, and I would try to capture the images of olive trees, of flowers,
Mm,
of goats, of stones, of the sea, because I also grew up, there was a lot of the Mediterranean.
right.
Um, and
Beautiful.
that's what I have always had in my mind. And so wherever I go, whatever I see, I just the image always stays imprint into my mind. I might not remember your name, but I will remember everything about your face.
I love that. I love that. And you literally took pictures. I mean, you've been
Yeah,
taking pictures along, and
yeah.
I know now that you photograph your productions, the costuming, the everyone on stage, and I love that hands-on. I keep referring to film directors, but it seems to be the way with you because you seem to be combining a lot of different spirits. And I know to me, the still visual image means more than anything else because with that moment, we capture something so special, we retain it. We reckon with our sense of smell, our memory. I mean, it just floods over us, doesn't it? I mean, really.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, in my case, I thought to myself when I started doing this job, I wanted to see if I could recreate my photographic memory or what I remember from my performers and project it on the stage. So I started playing around with photographing my cast, reworking those images in a certain way without altering obviously the performer, and start creating projections as a way of telling a parallel story. In other words,
Hmm.
how can you take two universes, the universe of the stage and the visual universe around the stage, and put them together that they both of them tell a story that is hopefully complete, one story completes the other.
I
And
love
then
it.
I kind of liked it. I thought this was my signature, together with other things, the
Yeah,
lighting, the saturation, etc. And I started working that way.
fabulous. I love it. I love it. So, did you grow up with musicians in your family?
No, my father was a car mechanic who hoped, I know, it's crazy, right? Who hoped that I will do the same like him. In fact, he forced me to go to work, except I refused. That just not was me at all. My family didn't really have any kind of connection to classical music or to artists at all, but I knew very well from when I was little what I wanted to do.
I'm going to share a little thing with you. My father also was a car mechanic.
Oh my God, I love it.
This is, I knew we were connected at the hip somehow,
Yes,
but I didn't
yes,
realize how deeply.
yes.
Wow. So, did your dad maybe hope that you might become a Formula One driver? If you weren't going to be a car mechanic, that would have been cool.
Yeah, my father was very passionate about cars,
Hmm. Yeah.
but he tried to transmit to me that passion, but I was not getting it. And then he moved into my little brother, and he won him because my brother is a car mechanic in Athens, and so then somehow my brother became the center of of his universe, which was good for me because he allowed me to just concentrate to what I wanted to do. Um, but I must say that my father never really stopped me from doing what I
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just voiced his disappointment of
It's
me not having dirty hands and fixing cars.
Can you imagine if you had gone into that life? But
Yes,
but something tells me with your sense, of course, you were interested in becoming an architect, literally.
right.
Something tells me you might have turned that into building a new car. I mean, you could have been,
Yes,
the
yes,
next great
yes,
designer for Ferrari or Lamborghini along the
yes.
way.
I mean, everything that design is me. I always wanted to do it. I fell into opera singing. It was not something that was planned in my life. Uh, so now that I am not singing anymore, I am enjoying the designer in me,
Mhm.
the unfulfilled and unfinished studies of designer.
I love it. You're studying those grants, writing those grants. That's
Yes,
that's the
yes,
architect in you.
yes.
But hold on a minute. So I don't understand really, and I've read about how you fell into opera singing, but I want you to tell the story because this is so truly original. Now, I knew that I was a singer since the time I was 5 years old. I just knew I had the greatest voice in the world because I had a vibrato and I would run around on my
Mhm.
bicycle in the middle of Eastern Oregon, just singing. You plan to be a designer.
Yeah.
You go to Italy and you have a roommate who I believe was an American opera singer?
Yeah, yeah. Her name was Elaine Orsillo. Um, and I don't know what happened to her because I haven't seen her in 30 years. But she was starting to be an opera singer, and we were sharing an apartment, and there were other opera singers always around. And at some point, I told her, well, I would like to get some lessons. I listen to you people. Let's see what I can do. And I remember she gave me a DVD of Rigoletto with a Pavarotti. Richard Bonich was conducting,
Yeah.
with whom I worked years after.
Hmm.
Joe Sutherland was Gilda. And I don't remember right now who was Cheryl Milner was the Rigoletto. I flipped. I loved it so
Incredible.
much. I decided I was like, I want to take some lessons. Okay, and if I suck, I suck. Who cares? Just for myself. So I started taking those lessons, and I make some friends in the industry. And some years pass by. And keep in mind that I was studying and working together because I
Okay.
had to sustain myself. So my studies were not going as fast as I wished, only because literally I had to work 8 hours per day, and I was taking those lessons. So one day, my friends tell me we will go to Parma to audition for a very famous foundation, um, a very famous foundation in Parma, and a very famous maestro. His name was Massimo de Bernard.
Okay.
Um, and I said, Wonderful. Maybe I will come with you and maybe I will try to sing too."
Hmm.
Uh, so we went. Now, keep in mind that I only knew one aria. This aria was from Noce di Figaro, Hai già vinta la causa,
Of
the
course.
Count's aria. Nothing else. I knew songs, stuff that you
Okay.
couldn't really audition. So, okay, I arrived there. I say to the person who was checking in, well, I would like to sing too, but I don't have an appointment. They're like, sure, we're in Italy. Please come sing. I enter the room. There is a commission there. There is also my friend who became afterwards my very good friend Cristina Ferrari, who now runs Piacenza, the opera in Piacenza. Um, the foundation was also La Fondazione Toscanini. Uh, and Massimo tells me, well, what do you have in your portfolio? I said, hold on a minute. I don't have a portfolio. I have one area. He was like, what? I'm like, that's all I have. I mean, do you want to hear it?
Oh my gosh.
I just came from Milano. Come on, listen to this aria. He was like, sure. Okay. So I sing the aria. I finish. I'm all pumped up because I thought I did great. I'm about to leave. He says, come here. I, so I go close, and Christina and him ask me, do we start in 1 week a production of Mary Guido? We are looking for a Baronezzetto with your personality. You need to do a lot of work in your voice. We will help you there to find the right way, but we just like, I don't know, you showed up and you didn't know anything and you just auditioning. And Baronezetta is not, it doesn't have a lot of singing, it has a lot of acting.
Hmm.
Do you feel like? I was like, sure, of course I will do it. And all of a sudden, I'm out of that. I'm having a career. Then I go to Rossini Opera Festival. They take me in the academy, the Rossini Opera, Maestro Zeta. Then one thing brings the other, and all of a sudden, I'm all over the place for a few years, singing character roles and small roles in big productions. Um, Keep in mind that I didn't have the vocal quality to
Yeah.
be a Verdi baritone, or not at all. What I had was my OCD preparation. I was always more prepared than anybody else because I'm OCD. Um,
Oh,
and also the great sense of stage and acting in the world, the word. I was always interested, how do I take a personality and make it something real on stage? Um, and that's how I got to work with people like Zeffirelli, like Pierluigi Pizzi, because they wanted some. When there was a Barone in Traviata, when there was a sacristan in Tosca, these kind of roles, I was
right.
hired.
You were there and ready, and that
Yeah.
incredible work ethic of yours.
Yeah, yeah, it was more the passion and the love that drove me hard, but it didn't drive me hard enough to discover completely myself as a singer. I kind of
Hmm.
sat
Interesting.
in those roles, and I never wanted to develop my voice and my art 100% because always something told me that I liked more to be on the other side of 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 the table. So
Yeah.
secretly, for many years, I had also been helping and learning to be an artist administrator, especially with my predecessor, Dwayne Prince, who taught me a lot, who showed me a lot, and a little bit also between my curiosity, a few studies that
Hmm.
I did here and there at the
Hmm.
University of Boston prepared me for who I am right now and prepare me to be a
Okay.
full, fulfilled adult.
Okay. Well, this is about as overwhelming as it gets, Stefanos. Never have I heard this kind of tale. And first of all, because I know that there are singers out there listening, and they're all killing themselves from what, age 15 to become this great singer?
Yeah.
And you just happen to go along to this audition. So, to anybody listening out there, take a risk because it's worth it. That is the most extraordinary story. And what really frosts me about this is that you might not have had a voice. I mean, you could have been that person who goes, "Oh, I love Rigoletto. I love what I'm
Yeah.
hearing." But any manner of voice lessons might not have changed the fact that you didn't have the raw material, but you did, and you had a sense for music making, and of course, great artistry. I mean, to do character roles, you must be the greatest of artists, right? It's like being a comedian doing stand-up comedy.
Yes, and I want to add to what you already said that is great. Also, be yourself is a very big thing about artistry because artists who try to
Mm.
be somebody else
Yeah.
don't really get results. Um, and that's what I mainly was. I was myself. I
Mm.
was somebody who many people still now today they don't like, they don't relate, but I oh, and many other people who relate and who find what I do interesting, but I'm always myself. And I
Yeah.
sense also the same about you, and that's what I love about you, that you're always yourself. I wanted to say that publicly.
Oh, thank you. That makes my heart sing because I very, very much am. And you know what? That might be the one thing that held me back in my career at some point. But you know, that's another conversation. But thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, to be to have the courage to be ourselves is huge.
Mhm.
It's tantamount to finding the greatest gift in life. You know, and you're right.
Yes, yes. And if there are any singers who are listening to this,
Yeah.
uh, in audition process, uh, as somebody who cast a lot of people, this year practically Teatro Catacello has we hired almost 200 artists. So we go through a lot
Oh,
of auditions, a lot of process, and it's very important to everybody who is sitting in an audition room that we find out really who you are
yeah.
and that you are yourself because that's what sells. You can have the perfect voice, you can have the perfect intonation. All of this is very important when you are a singer. You
Mm.
have to be a musician. Um, uh, Opera singers are these incredible human beings who have to be actors, musicians, and singers together. But most of all, they have to be themselves.
That's right. But you're right, they dance around that, thinking that they can perhaps hide their insecurities or the flaws, or you know, if they try to be another Jose Carreras, it might get them somewhere. I don't know. You know all too well, but it's so true. I admire this that you spend so much time mentoring young people in Teatro Caracciolo and with your vocal academy, the Camerata Bardi.
Yes.
So you really do know. And yeah, to anyone listening, take note of this because they see through it.
Yeah, we are practically, I am always insisting with my young artists
Hmm.
to find their own selves and not to let go that part of their artistry that belongs to them. Instead of trying to fit within a
Yep.
category that somebody is trying to put them in, that it might work, but it might not work. But and if it works, it will always make them unhappy because when you are living a life that is not yours,
Yeah,
then at some point everything comes back to you in a negative way.
so true. But I gotta say, in reflection, for the son of a car mechanic to have been bold enough to gone off to that audition, wow, I take my hat off to you.
Thank you so much.
But look at all the doors that opened when they recognized your real personality. You know, just that one moment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they may not have found the right person, and there you were. Oh my gosh, it's just mind-boggling.
It's a crazy story, and I mean, I was talking the other day to another very good friend of mine. His name is Massimiliano Becco Gagliardo. He was he's like a top agent right now of opera singers in London, but he was a very famous baritone for a long time
Hmm.
with like a big career, and he told me. Kind of exactly the same story. Practically, he was in a voice lesson. He wanted to be an opera singer. He has another story. But he was in a lesson with his teacher. He was beginning, he was like 18 years old, and an agent called his teacher and he said, I need a baritone who can sing a sharpless in Madame Butterfly.
Hmm.
Can you recommend somebody? And the teacher said, well, I have a kid in front of me. He's 18. And the impresario, the host, says, told her, okay, what does he know? Can he come and audition for me? Can you tell him to bring 5 arias? And my friend was like, what 5 arias? I barely know one song. Is he going to hear me? I have to go there and sing a toasty song. But he was so good. I mean, this guy was another level of singer.
Okay. And you knew
Really,
that. Yeah.
he became a reference at La Scala, at Covent Garden. He was
Yeah.
singing in and out in the biggest theaters. And sometimes it's also the right moment. You are at the right place at the right moment.
That's right.
Or sometimes it's just like me that I just went there and boom, I did it. Or sometimes you have to work a little bit harder. It takes a little bit more time, a little bit more persistence. Um, but I feel like in both cases, both of us, we were true to who we are.
Yeah. 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 And in that same respect, many times I tell young singers when they're frustrated, when they're stuck, they feel they're not
Mhm.
going anywhere. I become frustrated with them because the
Right,
first thing I say is get up and go. Go to
right,
Europe, be reckless,
right.
go see what the path, where the path will lead you.
Yes,
Stir up the energy in life. Because if we sit in one place and we start to moan and nothing is going to come to us, right? We have to stir up the energy and make it happen. And I'm all about that, and I'm all about diversifying because it's a different world nowadays. People
yes,
can't people
absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
expensive world, and we need to eat. If you're not making a living as a singer, perhaps if you are an attorney, you should really enjoy that job right now. And
Yes,
your sublime intelligence only adds to your artistry. So, but there are so many singers, don't you agree, Stefanos,
mm,
that will say, "No, but I have to sing. I have to do that, or else I will die." And I'm like, "No, you won't. You will die if you don't eat. So you have to get up and do something. You must." I just,
yes.
I love that. I admire that kind of that spunk, you know? You make things happen. My gosh, you never know. I interviewed a wonderful artist, a visual artist on this show, a man who I like very much, and humble beginnings, single mom. And he said when he was a kid, all his friends around him would say, "We are artists." And he said, "I have to go help my mom with money. So I'm going to go down the road and paint the exterior of the barber shop. And that is my art." Never forgot that. I love that.
Yes, I love that too.
So there is this about you already. We know there is this architectural kind of vision. And of course, wanting to be an architect to set you up for that. And I
Mhm.
love speaking with all my guests on this show about them being architects because we have to have that kind of vision where we see past where we are today. How has that helped you in your love of design, your love of angles, your love of light? How has that helped you now in what you're accomplishing?
I must say that mostly the logical part of my brain
Hmm.
um, has helped me, the architectural part of my brain has helped me a lot in my work as an arts administrator
Right.
and in arts leadership. In other words, I have put my talents or my knowledge or my personality right now into shaping uh, Teatro Grattacielo, who was a company that did until 2020 one concert performance per year, and now we're up to 4 productions per year.
So exciting.
Yeah, and all of this is practically me architecting,
Hmm.
strategizing, fundraising, uh, together obviously with my board of directors and with a few people that have been on my side from day one.
That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. And this is a company that was known for really its romantic repertoire and verismo, and you have managed to kind of widen the canvas, haven't you?
Yes. Yes, yes. I did. I knew that I could not create a a full opera company by doing rare verismo, because how much rare verismo can you do per year? Um,
Yeah.
it was also kind of a logistics question because we know that in the US the opera companies are non-profits and therefore they have to go out there and fundraise,
Hmm.
and there is not enough support for this kind of repertoire to be able to have a full season and call yourself a full operatic opera company in a city like New York.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I also always had a very big passion about two things: Mozart and new American operas. I just love very well done American repertoire. It's also my love letter to this country who gave me so many opportunities. Um, and my way of giving back is by supporting American artists, American composers, and singers. So as I started getting to know uh, composers, and I just decided, that's what I think Teatro Catacello should be. It
Okay.
should be an opera company who keeps its root, which is some verismo,
Yeah.
some rarities, but then we expand to new repertoire and we reinvent canon.
This is exciting. So your love of Mozart and I, Già vinta la causa is still in there. It's still
Oh,
in there
yes,
speaking to you. I
yes.
love that. At what point in your career did you make this move to America?
I came here when I was 30 something years old. That was 20 years ago. Um, and I was in full blowing opera career. Um, I remember my first gig in the US was with Palm Beach Opera. I sang yet another production of Sacrestano. Um,
In Palm Beach.
in Palm
What
Beach,
a
it was.
delight.
Yes, it was incredible. Except for one thing, I remember our housing was very far away from the theater. I never had I never had learned how to drive,
Oh
so
no.
I was practically stuck for a month in a place where I could not go to the beach at all. And I was so the first thing that I did when I came back to New York was to take my driver's license.
Oh, yeah, that would made your father very happy. I
Yes,
mean, I'm surprised you weren't staying in one of those mansions down on the water. I mean, incredible. Palm Beach is so unreal. That must have been like a dream to you.
yes,
Good Lord.
yes,
Good Lord. And was that at the Kravitz Center?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
gosh, that huge space.
Yes, yes. That was my very first job in the US, and then other things came. A big collaboration with Maestro Coppola, who lasted for years,
That's
and
right.
other nice things.
Oh, yeah, like the shopping and the Breakers
Yes,
Hotel. I mean,
yes.
not too bad. Um, that's wonderful. So you were starting to make the transition then, or thinking about administration at that point?
Yes,
All
oh,
right.
absolutely. I mean, I always had it in my mind. And what I did is I managed to get hired by my predecessor. Um, to the first years, he gave me a cover role in an opera. I'm talking about 16 years ago. Um,
Okay.
and then the next years he gave me my a principal role in one of the performances that she was doing, and then we became kind of friendly the second year, and so I told her flat out, I see you struggling so much, because she was working alone, at home, trying to
Mhm.
do everything to run a company on her own. And I said, I want to learn. I don't want anything. Just I want to come, sit with you, help you, work for you. I know you cannot afford me. I'm not asking for anything. Just I want to learn as much as I can because something is telling me that that's where I should be going. And now that I had my fun on stage and I have been all over the world
Right.
and I had collected enough pictures and memories and
Yeah.
knowledge, but I feel like this is not exactly me.
And being open and answering the call of what your inner voice was telling you puts you on the right road.
Yes.
So many singers, at that point can't let go. You
Yeah.
were you were happy to go into that next life, weren't you?
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
I admire
100%.
that, Stefanos. I admire that a lot. Wow. Okay, so here we are. Teatro Grattacielo, meaning skyscraper. I love that. Again, we're back to architecture. Six
Yes.
degrees of
Yes.
separation. We can't get away from it. Your path was really defined from day one.
Yes.
My gosh. So, and now you've got the big announcement of producing a director at Opera Roanoke. How excited are we about this?
I am very excited. I must tell you that I love the general director of that company, Brookie, who is an incredible human being. We
Mhm.
met a few years ago in an intensive week at the Opera Americans um, Leadership Intensive, where opera leaders from around the country and the world come together for a week to get trained in leadership. And we kept in touch. And when the right time came for her, she asked me if I would consider to work with her in practically producing all the taking over all the artistic aspects of producing a season in Roanoke. Now, Roanoke obviously is not behind the corner, it's Virginia.
That's right.
It's only 12 hours by train,
Gee,
but good thing we have airplanes. There is one straight flight per day that is only 50 minutes. And so I have been going back and forth as much as I need to be in Roanoke, and happy to be also part of that kind of conversation. First of all, because I feel like they allow me to bring some of my artistic imprint,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
which is a big deal for me.
So they're not intimidated by you. I mean, they're
No, no, no.
very welcoming.
Yes, that's very important. But also, it allows me that position allows me to only focus on the to be an artist behind the table.
Right.
Instead, in Teatro Grattacielo, I'm wearing practically two hats. One is administrator. I have to make sure that the company runs and that all
Mm-hmm,
bills are paid.
mm-hmm.
And the other is the artist, the casting director, and all
You
that
can
stuff.
handle it. Believe
So
me,
far, so good.
I believe you can handle anything right now, Stefanos Koroneos. There's no question. Good Lord.
Thank
I
you.
love this. So you're still, though, stage directing at the Met, at various opera houses around the world. I mean, wow. And you've got a partner. I believe you are married.
Yes,
And
yes.
and so it's going to be a challenge, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot going on in your
I,
life.
I mean, my husband, when he met me, I was seeing, we met online a long time ago. Uh,
Not that long.
and we were exchanging emails, and I was in Korea singing the Count in Noce di Figaro. So I told him, well, I'm going to be back in Italy in 2 months, just in case, because I was living in Italy, I was living in Modena.
Hmm.
Uh, if you want, just come and we can meet in person. And then he came, and literally, when he chose to come, which was Thanksgiving of 2003, I was in a production of Madame Butterfly. It was a co-production that was going around in several theaters, Trento, Bolzano, Verona. It was crazy. It was
Mm.
one every night another performance. So he
Mhm.
practically arrived on the airport. I grabbed him. We went to Verona. I sang that evening. The next morning, we were on the train to Trento. So he got the taste of my life right away. No time to think about it. And he didn't react badly. So when I moved here, and I started telling him, well, this month I have to go here, that month I have to go there, etc. It was not news to him.
I love that. He is elastic and thank the maker.
Yes, yes, yes,
Oh, between that kind of generosity and the plane that gets you to Virginia, that one flight, yes, please God, let it keep flying
yes, yes, yes,
and things will be fine. I love that.
absolutely.
So tell me, what turns you on when you work? Is it thinking about a new idea? Is it the conception of a new idea? Or is it the execution? I know they're entirely different, but what is
Mhm.
the point that you enjoy the most?
The first one,
Yeah.
the the concept. If I could just concept everything and have somebody else executing it, I would do it in a heartbeat.
I
But
have,
I'm not that famous yet.
I don't know. I don't know. You're working on it, Stefanos.
Yeah, but no, what I mean by that, I'm joking. I'm a people's people, so I love
Hmm.
to be in the middle of people. But literally, uh, for me, giving birth to a new concept,
Hmm.
it's very exciting. In fact, right now I'm working on Joseph Summers' The Tempest, and I must tell you that
Yes.
was a big challenge for me because Shakespeare is not easy.
No.
Um, and when you put Shakespeare and Shakespearean text, original Shakespearean text into an opera, becomes even more complicated. But I had the best time in so far to just creating the concept and writing down uh, all my thoughts down to the last detail on paper that then next month I'm gonna try to translate it in what needs to
Wow.
be happening on stage.
You're keeping it real again.
Yeah.
Wow. And since you have so much knowledge about opera in every form, and declamato especially, and of course your in-depth knowledge of Italian and style, do you find that when we get into American opera, that beautiful kind of texture of the text is as important, if not more so, than the music?
I believe so. I believe that American opera, especially modern opera, lives through storytelling,
Hmm.
through the
Hmm.
words, through how you tell the story. Um, but I mean, this has always been a prerogative of the American opera. I will never forget my first experience with Floyd's music.
Oh,
Uh,
yes,
and
yes.
I mean, I will never forget those recordings, those original recordings where the singers spoke on the pitch every word. And it was so incredible for me to listen to these rich melodies that were spoken on
Hmm.
the pitch. And this was
Hmm.
for me like a
Hmm.
revelation,
Hmm.
something that I was not accustomed to because I came from a world of Rossini. I
Mm.
sang a lot of Rossini in my life, especially in the early years where uh, we were requested to deliver something different
Yeah,
than
yeah.
that raw storytelling. Um, and I believe that um, I have found something that I always loved, but I didn't know that I loved it.
That's really interesting. So it's not just about the beauty of sound and the vowel. It is about the grit, really,
Yes,
especially when it comes to English, which is so
yes,
difficult to sing in.
yes,
In that text. I love that whole feeling of really kind of sliding in with great energy through the consonants into text. It's very
yes.
exciting. Very exciting. Wow. Wow. I love it. So are you the kind of guy that gets your inspiration at 3 a.m.? Do you like wake up and think, oh, this is what
Fi-
I'm going to do?
5 a.m.
Yeah, but you're up then. You're an early riser.
Yeah, yes, my first ideas come at 5 a.m. in the morning after my first espresso. So I will have my first espresso and then I'm ready to go. And I'm a morning person, but also some of my ideas come when I walk on the street or when am on my bicycle on the west side or when I am at the gym.
So it's with movement.
It's with movement.
Is it the same on an airplane?
Not exactly. There, I'm not, I must confess, I don't like flying that much.
Oh, okay.
I had a
Oh,
terrible experience a long time ago going on my way to do a Traviata al Bolshoi in Moscow, and that has left me with a lot of fear of flying. So in the flights, I'm not very productive. I'm mostly trying to to breathe.
just hang on.
Yes, yes. Or hang from somebody, my poor people around me that sometimes when it starts shaking, I grab them and
You must never fly to South America, my dear. Never.
uh,
Um,
uh,
oh, I love it. So I can imagine that 50 minutes to Virginia is a little bit of a white knuckler at times.
sometimes yes, sometimes I'm okay. But Roanoke is on the mountain, so it's always windy. So I remember one of the board members of Opera Roanoke when I was telling him that the first time that I landed in Roanoke, the plane was shaking, and I was like shaking too. And he was like, "Oh, that's nothing. We are on the mountains. This is normal." I was like, "Really? Maybe I should take some pills before I get on that plane."
I love this. I absolutely love this. After we're done, I'll tell you a great story of flying, but we have more to talk about with you. I know you're a great lover of Maria Callas, and I'm not going to ask you in depth about her right now, but I would love to do another conversation about that at some point because your knowledge is actually extraordinary about her.
Yes,
And your
yes,
adoration of her, it just goes far beyond just being a singer. It was
yes.
drama.
Yes, you said the right word. So the woman, you can tell a lot about her. There are so many opinions out there, like there is for everybody. But nobody can deny that she knew how to create drama. And I mean, opera literally means words in music.
Yeah,
So when we have words that they are put in music, word and the is very important, but also it's very important the imagination of the artist. And the imagination of
mhm,
the artist can be musical, it goes without saying. Uh, every artist, every singer needs to know how to sing piano, pianissimo, forte, with dolce, dolcissimo, aggressivo. I don't know. I can go
yeah,
on to create a whole list. But does he or she have enough imagination to take a word or a phrase and shape it to become an idea and an expression?
yeah, yeah. That's huge. It is so huge that. And all the colors and everything that's abstract within that, which I find so interesting.
Yeah.
That's the construct of it. That's what you do so well. And I love it. I can see that you have give a lot of space to the understanding with artists in front of you. I
Yes,
mean,
I have.
how
And
precious is that? We don't have that much in productions. You know that all too well.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Thank you. Thank you very much. Really
your
means a
s-
lot to me.
your singers must adore you,
I
Stefanos.
I adore them too.
All right, just tell me about Camerata Bardi, the Vocal Academy. How was this your baby, or
No, that
were you invited in?
I was invited in. This is the baby of of the chairman of the board of Teatro Catacello.
Okay.
It was his project. He wanted to have an academy that he would train singers vocally. And when he invited me to be part of it, I told him that I have no interest of training anybody vocally because first of all, I barely knew how to sing.
Ah,
How I don't think I can vocally train anybody,
hmm.
and it's not my passion, it's not my calling, and I don't have that kind of knowledge. So I said to him, if you want me to be involved with this academy, even though there is a part of the word vocal in there, uh, what I want to do is to help you create a young artist program that is connected to Teatro Grattacielo in a second way. But in this program, we will teach those young singers anything that they don't learn at school. In other words, we will teach them how to use the word, the recitativos, how to pronounce properly, how to become imaginative and daring artists, how to let go,
Mm-hmm.
how to
Mm,
manage the finances. I don't know,
yeah.
anything
Oh,
that
yes.
as a kid, how to audition properly, how to brand themselves properly,
Hmm.
all these nice things. And so went for it. He was like, okay, listen, just do it and let's see what happens. And one thing brings the other. Um, I also wanted that the people who enter this Camerata Bardi Academy, where they have a commitment with the Camerata, they get the reward. The reward is that if they do well in the academy, they get professional paid jobs by me in Teatro Catacello, but not only because I have been working for them almost as an agent, proposing them, hiring them, sending them around in auditions, and really putting them out there to the world so that they have somebody who believes in them and who gets them, who gives them a little bit of tough love, but also a lot of reward.
You're a papa.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I have to, um, if I have to be involved in something like that, I want to be involved 100%, or
Yeah.
otherwise I would rather not do it.
What I love, you're really expressing this so beautifully because it's so rawly honest. So many hold back slightly. You don't seem
Yeah.
to.
No,
You're right
no.
there. What you see is what you get.
No, no. I had this conversation s- some time ago. I was invited to speak at the Opera America
Hmm.
opening session a, f- a few weeks ago at their annual conference, and when I was invited, that was the first thing that I said to the person who invited me. I said, "You should know that I have a certain personality that I never hide it because every time I hide it, I become somebody else who was not happy. And because I work 14, 15, 16 hours per day, and I'm not nearly paid enough for what I do. No artist is paid enough. The
That's
only
right.
thing that we have is our happiness. How do we wake up in the morning and we deal with an incredible amount of work that is nearly is is not paid as other jobs of other friends or relatives or people that we know, is by being happy of doing it. And
Mm.
so I don't shy away. I like to express myself,
No, you
yes.
live that. You live that. And I tell you, on another planet or in another dimension somewhere, artists are being paid more than hedge fund guys. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be the proper way. It would be the enriching way.
Yes,
It really
yes,
would be.
absolutely. I hope there is that plan and that universe. And this is another thing that I always try to do. I My company tries to pay artists as much as possible, and we pay fairly. That means that we practically, for the duration of the engagement with us, all
Mhm.
our artists are employees. That means that we pay for the health insurance and
Oh
everything
my
else in
gosh.
between.
Oh my gosh, how extraordinary.
Yeah.
You've made this all work. You are gifted. Yeah. I think the day you left singing and you went into admin, do you have designs on running a house at any point? I mean, a big
No.
house.
Yeah. I would love to. I would love that. Who knows? I leave it to the universe.
Yeah.
Or even when the Met gig happened last year and this year, I honestly was not going after anything only because right now I'm in a place in my life where I say to myself, okay, all I'm going to do is do my best. And then I leave everything to the universe. I was talking probably the other day about that with the vice president of my board, and I was telling her that I never wake up in the morning planning uh, or daydreaming or something that might not happen. I wake up in the morning and I say,
Mm,
I'm going to be the best of myself. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to try to make it happen. And hopefully, the universe, the industry, the people around me will recognize and things will come.
definitely. Because you're putting that energy out, and this is what
Yeah.
we need. Oh, Stefanos Koroneos, I love this. Is this your legacy?
Yes, that's my legacy. My legacy, I want to say, is the legacy of somebody who wakes up every morning and really does the best work possible, imaginable, out of passion and love, and never really tries to manipulate or to,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're in the flow.
yeah.
You're definitely in the flow. It's a marvelous place to be, my dear. Or what do they call it in Formula One racing? Your father would love this. The slipstream. Isn't
Oh,
that it? I love that.
I don't know. I didn't know. Now I learned something.
Isn't that sexy?
Yes, I love it.
I
I'm
wrote
gonna
an
start
article
using it.
once about singing and the slipstream. I only
Oh,
keep coming back to this because my husband, a former ballet dancer, is now an avid Formula One fan.
excellent. I
We
love it.
live and breathe sexy cars and all these drivers. I hear about all these drivers all the time, whether I want to or not.
Yes,
However, the art of driving these cars and putting your life on the line all the time at every corner is similar to what we do on stage.
absolutely.
You might pay a bigger price for,
Yeah.
for an accident, but it's the thrill and it's taking the risks and it's really perfecting that art.
I
How you turn a
think,
corner.
yeah, and I now you're giving me ideas because I think we should have an opera about Formula Uno. Don't you
I'm
think?
shocked that no one has done that yet because now that Formula One is taking place in Austin and in Las Vegas on the streets, just like Monaco that just had their race this last weekend. I mean, it's home to us now. It is a fabulous subject.
Let's make an opera about Formula Uno.
I
Me
I
and you,
love it.
Pamela.
I can see the big tenor aria now. How can
Yes.
I face getting in the car when I had that accident last week? Will I take that corner at 200 miles an hour?
Yes.
I love that. Okay, something for us to think about.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we could pull in, like, Oscar Piastri or Kimi Antonelli, this young driver who just won Monaco, and have them be a guest. There you
Amazing.
and talk about text,
Yes.
the slipstream. Yeah, that is when you actually get into the energy of the car in front of you, and so it creates this kind of little vacuum, makes it very easy, and it's kind of like flying again, my dear.
Yes.
Um, well, this has been great, and you're giving me so much time, and I appreciate it, and I know you're busy. But just for fun, as if this interview hasn't been a lot of fun already, I want to ask you a couple of my signature questions. And the first would
Yes.
be, and this is important because I think we do live in a Steven Spielberg manner of way in our dreams that we create on stage. So within that dreamscape, if you had an opportunity to have dinner with anyone for one night that is passed from this earth, and you can have a whole table if you want. You can invite Socrates and J.S. Bach. Just saying. Who would you invite?
I would invite Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
He would be so thrilled and proud of you.
Yes, and I would be thrilled and proud of being in his presence. I think he was a genius,
Mm,
but I mostly admire how much he dared to be different,
that's right. That's
and
right.
he dared to have to be innovative, and he dared to take upon him stories that were not always easy back then to tell.
Exactly. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, that's very true. That is very true.
Yes,
Very interesting comment, actually. And then taking on his own brilliance in the face of mediocrity everywhere, or let's not say mediocrity. Perhaps we're not talking about Amadeus here and Salieri
yes,
and his
yes,
fight,
yes,
but perhaps in a world that yet was not fleshed out enough with that kind of wild creativity. Because I'm sure he was on the spectrum in some way,
right,
but it was that which gave him that ability to let go, as you said earlier.
right, right, right.
Is that all who's going to be at the table, Stefanos?
Um, I'm gonna add my favorite playwright, Beaumarchais.
Well, you've got, oh my God, we've got a poker hand now.
Yes, yes. I don't know if you have read, um, um, I'm sure you have, knowing you the original Don Juan. There is something about that man, together with another Italian playwright. His name was Dario Fo, whom I really, really, really love. Um, these two men, I would really love to have creative expression conversations, because I thought they were both brilliant. And again, they were completely different, but not different
Mm,
for the sake of being different, because, okay, one says, I want to be different, but what does that mean? It means that you live within your head and you express whatever is within your head.
yeah.
And I admire that very much.
You think Beaumarchais himself was quite a character?
I think so.
Hmm.
Or I secretly hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Me too.
Yes,
It'd be
I
too
mean, I
simple
will.
otherwise.
Yes, I mean, there is a scene, particularly in Don Juan, where um, whoever later becomes Gerlina and Mazzetto, the original roles, are having a conversation, and the man is trying to tell the later Gerlina, the role that became Gerlina. Um, he's telling her a story about saving Don Juan from drowning, and she's listening, and she's not interested about the act of saving, but she's interested only about, was he rich? Did you find any money on him? Was he naked?
Ah,
Did he look good naked, or did he look bad naked? And I
wow.
thought, for back then, that was like brilliant
Huge.
construction of a personality, that it was so out of the box.
Yeah, yeah.
And um, and I that's when I got really into storytelling, thanks to this man who taught me without knowing what means to be authentic to something.
That's the theme of this interview, isn't it? Authenticity.
Yeah.
You have graced my afternoon. Now, one more question. What one word or phrase defines who you are to the depth of your soul?
Okay, that's a difficult one because I have so many in my mind.
Mhm.
So if I had to choose one, it would be yourself.
You've got it. That is your
Uh,
legacy, and that
be,
is our theme, and it's a beautiful one. We're in the slipstream of it. Thank
yeah,
you.
no, thank you.
A car mechanic's son,
Yeah,
a car mechanic's daughter. Here we are.
yes,
My. What providence has brought us together, Stefanos Koroneos. Wow. Okay. I want to suggest to everyone out there, you must find everything you can about Stefanos Koroneos. It will be a pleasure. It will be a huge adventure. And if you are bored, really read between the lines. And when you watch this, I want you to watch the space between Stefanos's eyes because that gives everything away. Stefanos, you are a prince of a man. I knew that when I first met you, and I am so glad to behold it here, one on one. And just quickly before you go, one question I forgot to ask:
of
Are you
course.
are you a synesthete?
A what?
A synesthete. Do
Oh
you
my
see
God.
things in colors? Do you see days of week, numbers, notes? Do you see music in colors in your mind?
Um, I do, and the colors are very saturated.
We will have to talk about that at another time and invite the conductor Timothy Long to the table.
Oh, I would love that.
He is very much a synesthete, and when I interviewed him, we spent most of our conversation speaking about it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, we need to have dinner. Okay, we will do that. To everyone out there, I want you to go to stephaноskoroneos.com for more information and timely information about this fantastic Renaissance man, this visionary, this more than a singer, administrator, you name it, he's pulling everybody together in the right kind of energy. And if we can all come to it with the same kind of grace that he is exuding, we're all better for it. Thank you, Stefanos. Thank you from my heart to yours. This has been real.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, you are such an incredible human being. I cannot wait to meet you in person.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
I mean it. I hope it happens very soon.
I promise. I promise we will. And in the meantime, you take care of yourself. To all my listeners, you can find more interviews like this. Well, not completely like this. This is special. But there are other interviews out there at Center Stage with PamelaKuhn.com and especially now at Pamela Kuhn Official on social media sites. And you can also find my shows at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and at WGCH Talk Radio in Greenwich, Connecticut at WGCH.com. So there you go. And I'm going to leave it to all of you to go out and discover and just do it, like my guest, Stefanos Koroneos, has done so beautifully. Thank you again. Thank you again. Everyone, stay safe out there. This is Pamela Kuhn, and the curtain is now down on Center Stage.